The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Whether she's walking the red carpet or doing interviews, you'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready, 'cause it's the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Corey Taylor Talks, live from Las Vegas, the #1 teen talk show. I am so excited for my guest today because, as you guys know, I love our police and everyone who supports them and stuff, and I'm a huge advocate for them, and we have the police wives of Metro with us, and I'm so excited because they are amazing and they're so cool and they really help out the community. So thank you guys so much for being on today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Oh my gosh, of course. So why don't you explain exactly what you guys do and who you are and everything, because like I said, I think it's really cool and I don't think a lot of people know that much about it. So
Sure. So we're Las Vegas Metro Police Wives, and we also have our nonprofit, which is Police Wives of America. But it's really important to us to support our police community,
Yes.
especially being married to police officers. I think we kind of have certain understanding of the culture that is involved with that,
Right.
and anytime there is a need to bring the police community together
Yeah.
to help and things like that. I mean, we can talk a little further about that, but we help. That's what we do. We help our community police officers.
definitely.
And I mean, I think that the greater idea of community involves Las Vegas as it is itself, and then how our law enforcement is able to help bring that community together, and how the community is able to support our law enforcement. I think that, as Heaven was saying, we both have an interesting perspective on things. We've seen law enforcement from a spouse position. I've worked with law enforcement myself formerly, and Heaven.
Yes, I was actually I was a police officer with Metro as well.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, we definitely have interesting
Yeah, we do.
perspectives.
Yeah, both sides of
Mhm.
the
Yes. So I think a lot of times the police don't get enough credit for what they do,
Right.
or portrayed in a positive light. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody wants to talk about the bad things, but we
So
do
easy to,
so many great things the police do,
Amazing,
and
yeah.
we're kind of like that silence, like say the heartbeat behind the badge.
That's right.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely. And I did want to talk about that too, because unfortunately it's so easy to focus on the negative and stuff, and there's so many incredible officers that are really just helping the community, and they're putting their lives on the line every single day. And as police wives, I can't even imagine what you guys are going through, because my sister, she's married to an officer too for Metro, and it's horrifying. It's so scary, and they have she has a stepkid and his kids, and I mean, you're worried about them. I mean, it's a really scary thing, and I think it's so easy to focus on the negative and stuff, but they're risking their lives for the community and to make the world a better place. And I love officers, and I think they're amazing. So.
I mean, there's definitely that level of anxiety that as your husband or
Right.
spouse is leaving for the evening and you tell them that you love them. I
Yeah.
tell my husband every night, I love
Yeah.
you, be safe, come home. And that's what we want.
And I think, too, it's important that we know that they have the best training
Yes.
in the country, and we kind of have to rely on them to know that they're doing the absolute best when they're out there. They're being safe. They're doing everything they can to come home to us.
Right.
I know, but at the same time, they leave their families so that
Yeah.
they can go protect other families. Yeah. And so that's something that I think a perspective that a lot of people don't see.
They forget
they're-
about it, yeah.
Normal people with families and loved ones and children and moms and dads and sisters and brothers like everybody else.
Exactly. And let's talk about Police Week, too, because it's such a cool thing, and you guys are helping out a lot with it. So what is Police Week, and what do you guys do with it?
So just a little history about Police Week. So in 1962, there was a joint resolution of Congress, which was the proclamation was signed by then President Kennedy, which established that May 15th would be Peace Officer Memorial Day. So the week that May 15th falls is Police Week. and it has been celebrated nationwide since then. As a matter of fact, several officers and agencies will be sending officers to Washington, D.C., and there will be a huge celebration of flooding that city and turning it blue.
Oh, wow.
And so for us on a local level, we want to make sure that Las Vegas is able to experience Police Week and celebrate our officers. And we're hoping that we can get the city to turn it blue too.
That's awesome.
It's going to be, and so it's all over the nation. People are celebrating and doing different things in their communities. Like she said, Washington, D.C., they light it up blue.
That's so cool.
We have police tours, so there's officers that are going to be riding bicycles for hundreds of miles in honor of those who lost their life in the line of duty, going to put their name on the wall if we've had any that have been lost in the last year. That's what they do there. And then locally, we should have something too. We always have something at our Memorial Park, which is up in the northwest part of town.
It's a beautiful park, too.
Beautiful. So we wanted to celebrate, just our officers in general. So we are going to be filling 7,500 bags, just goodie bags with all kinds of treats. And oh man, what do we have? We have all kinds of stuff.
So I was there today at our drop-off location where we'll be doing the assembly, and we had a donation come in from Monster Energy.
Oh, wow.
We've got local churches, local businesses that are just reaching out to us and saying, hey, we see what you're doing. We want to help back the blue. So we've got Grapevuns Bakery is going to be giving our Southeast Area Command officers some bagels during Police Week.
Oh, wow.
We've partnered with the community too. Just this Saturday, we were out at Sam's Club over in the south side of town collecting donations from anybody who was just shopping who wanted to give to our local police officers to help fill those goodie bags. And it's a small, gesture, but we think that it's great. Officers, again, they don't get that appreciation all the time that they deserve. So just opening up a bag, if they can eat a snack or drink a Monster or chew a piece of gum that was given to them, I think it's just so important that we've partnered with our community. We have businesses helping us. We just have individuals. We have monetary donations that have come in. And we have different drop-off locations around the city that people can drop things off to. It's not too late. We partnered with drop-off locations, Clark County Credit Union, Findlay Toyota Centennial, Centennial Toyota, Findlay Honda, Better Homes and Gardens, JoJo's Jerky.
Yeah, and right now, since we're so close to Police Week and the packaging, if folks want to travel down to 6501 Westlake Mead, they can drop off at Liberty Baptist Church. And it'll just be a central location for us to be able to pick everything up and get it where it needs to be for the assemblies that'll be happening. Other ways, I know people are always asking, like, hey, I think it's great, how can I support? And we know that there are people, whether they're a 5-year-old little girl who goes and sets up her lemonade stand, that's Love with Lemons, Teresa Ann. She supports us for everything that we do.
Cool.
But whether you're 5 years old and that's what you want to do to support law enforcement, to the people at large corporations who have the ability, like Centennial Toyota, to be one of our sponsors and provide items for all 7,500 bags, there's something that everyone can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. And I mean, it's like you said, it's just a small little thing, but it makes such a big difference to the officers, and they really do see, like, that was a really cool thing, and the community did come together to help give us some stuff. I mean, that's really such an awesome thing, and so cool for the officers to have that. So, I mean, that's incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's important for the community to come out here and support for sure.
Definitely. We encourage the partnership between law enforcement and the community because it becomes so strained, and so we accept any support, just come out and say hi or just anything.
Just wave to an officer, even if nothing else. They're there, they're normal people.
They are.
And people are, so often I've been out and people will come up and thank them for their service, which I think is great. And there are the people that are working behind the scenes, and even if it's the paying it forward by seeing officers who are out on patrol, stopping to get, coffee or something like that, people are happy to pay it forward and support their law enforcement. There are other ways that I think that people can get involved, and especially to, embrace and encourage a committed community relationship. And there are First Tuesday topics that happen at area commands.
Oh, First Tuesdays is awesome. Yeah.
So I know that a lot of people are very interested in our canine officers.
Yes. How could you
And
not be? They're so
I
cute.
know. Have you seen
The
Knight?
Knight? Oh my God, he's beautiful.
Isn't he?
He
Gorgeous.
is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
So if you live in the Bolden area command, or even if you want to travel down to the Bolden area command, their First Tuesday topic is going to be the canine unit.
Ooh.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yes.
So, but the best thing to do is they push that out on their social medias. So whether that's Facebook or Twitter.
Right.
And you can also go to WWDB.com and find those First Tuesday topics. Just call down to your station and make sure it's something that's open to the public.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's a great way to see officers, to learn more about what they do.
Definitely.
There's even a topic that you may be interested in, and that's on dispatch and communications.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's at the Northeast Area Command tonight. So
Very
just a
cool.
couple different.
It is First Tuesday tonight.
It's First Tuesday.
Oh my goodness, I
Yeah.
forgot about it. Yeah, and I do want to bring up first, because I never really get to talk about Metro and everything, but it's such an awesome community family. It really is a family, and the First Tuesdays, everyone says, oh, how do we get involved? How do we discuss everything? Well, that's a perfect way to actually be able to talk to the officers and get involved with their area command and stuff. So that's a really cool thing that we do have for sure.
Absolutely. Usually there's some sort of a lieutenant or a captain there along with other officers.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they're definitely, taking your points into consideration and trying to implement those into the areas that you attend. Every substation has a First Tuesday. So.
Yeah, definitely. And why don't we talk about, because you did mention in the beginning, you have the Police Wives, Las Vegas Metro Police Wives, but you also have the nonprofit group Las Vegas, or not Las Vegas, but Police Wives. So why don't you talk about the separation and stuff, but how you also work together and everything?
Absolutely. So Las Vegas Metro Police Officer Wives is our local group of wives, that we realized, I think this group has been around for about 9 years.
Wow.
And so, we just realized, okay, we have something in common. We're married to a police officer. Their schedules are crazy. They're out at night, and maybe we're nervous to be home, or we have children.
Right.
Can we do play dates? All of these things that we realized we had in common. We're like, okay, let's start a group of girls that just could hang out. And then it really evolved into, when there was a tragedy, if somebody got hurt, if someone got murdered, if, and so then we became closer with that, and we realized then that we needed a nonprofit to kind of raise funds and give back, and we wanted to do that nationally, and that's kind of where Police Wives of America was born, about 2 years ago now. Or a year, but 2 years ago there was the shootings that happened in Dallas and Kansas, and that was really, we
It
had
was horrific. Yeah.
horrific. So we had wives that had the opportunity to go out to those states
How cool.
and support and give, just like we're doing now. Waters, just give whatever they could.
Yeah.
And while they were there in those other states, they realized, the other wives were like, wow, this is great that you're doing this. How can we start something in our community where we can help locally for our officers? And so we realized, okay, this is a need.
Yeah.
So we are going to, we put together our nonprofit, and we have the mission to support our police officers all around the country and help police wives start that community help. It doesn't have, you don't have to be a wife just, to start a group, a help group. You could be a mom, a sister, a brother, so any type of help in your community, we want to offer that for you. We have our website, which is policewivesofamerica.org, which gives a list of all of the things that we do to help you start support groups in your community for police officers. And our local group, which is LVMPO, Las Vegas Police Officer Wives.com as well. And so we'll have information on Police Week up there as well, ways to give, and we have a store, which is pretty awesome. We have some pretty cool, merchandise for sale.
And the great thing about the proceeds from the sale of the merchandise is that it's going back to the community. It's going back to support our officers. It's going back to support, if it's a donation on Police Wives of America, it's like Kevin said, wives are able to travel out and to have a face-to-face with other wives, because we know what that tragedy feels like.
Of course.
we know what it's like to lose officers and to be what's left behind and to try to like pick up those pieces. So if we can help to make that easier or help carry that burden, then that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
That's where our gifts are best used. So.
We also help. It doesn't always have to be a tragedy.
Right.
Sometimes we have newborns, children that come in,
That's
and
so cool.
we want to just create a meal train or, just take that. I mean, I had a baby in October, and it was so nice for a month.
Oh, congratulations.
Wives gave me meals for a month,
That's
and I was
so
like,
cool.
I don't have to cook.
How
Thank
cool.
you so much. Because, like, dinner is one of those things where it's like, oh, the whole day's gone by, and now I have to figure out what
Oh
I'm
my
doing.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So supporting that way too, or even just if somebody got hurt on duty, just a sprained ankle, a broken foot, things like that happen all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And you think too, like, okay, so now I'm taking care of my spouse,
Right.
and can I get some help somewhere? It could be
course.
cleaning a house, helping out with babysitting kids,
Absolutely.
animal sitting, all kinds of things.
And there's definitely a level of mentorship that goes along with it. I jokingly call it having an OG and me being a rookie. My husband and I recently got married, so having a
Congratulations.
support group,
Yay.
thank you,
Yeah.
of wives who have been there and who
Yeah.
know exactly, who can say, oh, your husband's in graveyard. I remember exactly what that felt like.
It's
Yeah.
hard.
You're
Yeah.
not alone.
No.
You've been there. You're gonna get through it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And whether it's, talking about ways to financially help when you're happen to be either on a single income.
Yeah.
Hey, these are things that we found that made it work. You can still do great things and still keep it together. So that level of mentorship is invaluable.
Of course.
And so with the nonprofit, we're able to give that mentorship across the nation.
Wow.
So I think that that's a pretty awesome thing.
We've gotten a lot of support, just from people like you and all kinds of businesses and other people who want to kind of share our story and what we're doing for the community.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So we appreciate you.
Oh, of course. No, and I really, like I said, I think you guys are awesome, and you do help in so many different ways. And I mean, the police week thing too. I mean, those goodie bags. It doesn't sound like a lot, but really, it means such a big difference to those officers and stuff, and the whole community coming together. And so, I mean, it really, really means a lot to them. So that's a really cool thing you guys are doing, and with everything you do, honestly.
It takes a lot of. I mean, we don't show it, but it takes a lot of organization.
I can only imagine.
Months of preparation and getting it all together, and just like you said, for something so small, a little goodie bag, but we want to make sure that
it makes
gets
a
done.
huge difference. Yeah. And I also I want to bring up too, I like we were saying tragedies and stuff. Of course, the October 1st shooting, just horrific. I don't think anyone can even so completely wrap their mind about what happened. But did you guys do stuff with that or anything like that? Because
Absolutely. We were so busy.
Yeah,
So
I can
I
imagine.
actually, personally, I had my son on October 2nd. So
oh my
I
gosh.
was, it was kind of like
Oh
one
my
of the,
gosh.
Yeah, and still while all of this tragedy was going on, we had people bringing us meals, and I'm like, I feel like out of the
how
loop,
cool.
and that's just the sisterhood that we've created
How
here
cool.
locally.
Yeah.
But yes, we did. We put together care packages for victims that were in the hospitals. We went to their homes if they were, a local victim, and sometimes we also had people who, I don't want to say they weren't a victim, but they had survivor's guilt in
Right.
a way.
No, yes.
And they still needed somebody to talk to, providing services from people to, outside companies to come in and give that kind of therapy sessions, talking it out, and going through those events,
I can't think of anyone that lives in this community who wasn't affected.
Yeah.
We have wives who were in attendance at the Route 91 festival.
Right, yes.
Who,
yes.
Wow.
We have wives of husbands who got the text that night that said, I love you. And when you get that text,
Right.
immediately you're just...
And something serious is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like you said, they leave every night, and of course something could happen, but when you have your spouse texting you, I love you, it's like,
Yeah, I mean,
what's going on? But yeah, we had so many things going on that week. I think it kind of turned into a blur for some wives, because it was just
I'm sure, yeah.
going, and what do you need? Where can we be? We were at all the substations with food, at different shifts. So if you were a day shift, a swing shift, a night shift, just because those officers, their schedules changed after that too.
Oh, yeah.
So they were working different shifts than they would normally work. So they were basically there all the time.
Pretty much.
It was really wild.
And when we talk about our community partners,
Yeah.
it's not just a term that we get to throw out. They truly are partnerships. We've had businesses that contact us and say, how can we help? They know that we exist. They have that faith in what it is that we do, and they know that we can be the vessel that can help to get these things out there. And that's something that you definitely saw surrounding the 1 October events.
Right.
And even on a national level, to have survivors reach out to us from Orlando, to then turn around, and we were able to reach out to Parkland.
Right. It was just,
Oh, wow.
yeah, there was so much. And, you know, you don't think, oh, that's going to happen to our community. And, you know, we can relate, you know, Vegas strong, Boston strong, everybody, you know, these things. It's like we went through this together. And so it's been nice to be able to remember that, because we don't want to I mean, it was horrific, but we don't want to forget that the people who survived, the people whose lives were lost. We had an officer Hartfield, who lost his life, and he will be honored, you know, in Washington, D.C.
That's so cool.
And here locally as well, and his family, and they're doing the best they can. They're doing.
And I think with you mentioning Officer Hartfield, that's something that though we're celebrating our officers, so when we talk about Police Week, we talk about remembering the fallen and honoring those who serve. So while there's this celebration, there's also this dichotomy of always remembering the people, your brothers and your sisters who are no longer there.
Exactly.
So, you know, if people remember that during Police Week, that some of our officers are definitely going to be remembering.
Right. And that's what Police Week is, you know, all about. Initially remembering those who served the ultimate price, which was their life, to protect their community. And being a hero. Officer Hartfield, true hero.
He was off duty and went right on duty just to help everyone. I mean, that was
clicked just
incredible.
Like that. Right.
Absolutely. He could have just hit, and he did. He paid the ultimate price, and but we have to honor them and stuff. And I think you guys are incredible. So. That's awesome. So where can people go and help in any way, even if it's not just for Police Week, any way they could possibly help?
Absolutely. So we have our merchandise, and again, the donation or the money from that goes back to the community and back to the events that we do to support law enforcement. But just across the board here, there's so much in Southern Nevada that people can do to help out. We have LVMPD Foundation. We have Friends of LVMPD K9 for all of the K9 friends. As Heaven mentioned, there's Police Unity Tour, Team Vegas. We have Injured Police Officers Fund, Southern Nevada Fallen Heroes.
There are a lot.
There
are so many ways.
Which is so great.
Yeah, and again, you can always go onto our social media, which is Police Wives of America, or Friends of Las Vegas Police Officer Wives. Send a message, and we respond right away. And you know, we try to, if you need something or you need to get in contact with someone, we try to make that work.
And for those who want to do something, but again, may not necessarily have the financial means to do it, hey, stop into your area command and drop off some thank you cards. Are your kids artistic? Can they, you know, put something together? Like, we had young kids out at the event on Saturday who, to them, they're coloring and it's fun, but to see officers who get those later and know that there are children who look up to them because they are heroes in their eyes.
That's so cool.
So that
How sweet.
If you have like a blue light that you can put up a blue candle, again, like help us turn it blue. Like, let officers know that you support them and you back them, that you see them. That's stuff that you can do throughout the year.
I really want to emphasize that. I know it's Police Week coming up here, but the entire year, you know, our officers are working out there to protect our community 24/7. There's not a holiday for, you know, police officers. So anytime, you know, just a thank you. That just means so much. Just like, oh, okay, like, police officers see people on their worst day, so a lot of times that brings out a lot of emotions for the other person, and it's not always a thank you.
Right.
It's not always like,
Right.
hey, I'm excited to see you. So when they do get that positive interaction, it's so nice. It's just refreshing. Okay, okay, I'm here, I'm making a difference.
Exactly.
Somebody appreciates me.
Absolutely. And the fact that you said to be able to say those thank yous,
Yeah.
we would love to have people send to us at Las Vegas Metro Police Wives at gmail.com 15-second videos of thanks. And we would like to be able to promote that and send it through so that, officers can see that their community is there. And you don't have to be a child. You can be, someone who's a perpetual child like myself. Like, I am constantly, I play with all the kids. Like, I'm always.
Yeah, everybody. We want everybody. We want men, women, kids, children, moms, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no end to the support that we want. We want everybody to be involved and really see that they are just normal people out there that decided to do a job that requires a uniform and a badge and to enforce the law.
Exactly.
And so the more that we can get the community to understand that, I think the better off that we will be.
And that's the only way we're going to keep the community safe as these officers, and really supporting them and showing them that we do care and we do appreciate it, because it's a lot of work and it's a tough job. It's not easy. It's super difficult and challenging for the families and stuff. I mean, so really, they're incredible people that are doing an awesome job. So, yes. But thank you guys so much for being on. And
thank you, Corey. It's been our pleasure.
Oh my goodness. It truly is an honor having you guys, because really everything you do is so cool, and we back you guys 100%. Any possible way someone can help in a little bit, that would make such a big difference.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much
Corey.
for being on, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please, any little possible way you can help. Again, just saying hi or thank you to an officer you see on the street. I mean, that's an awesome thing to do too. So please, in any way possible you can help, please go visit them, help them in any way. And thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, never give up, always believe, and you will achieve. Thank you, and God bless.